Hello, my friends. Welcome to Follow Him Favorites. John and I are sharing a single story to go with each week's lesson. John, we're in Alma 30 and 31, the stories of Korihor and the Zoramites,
Yes.
the antichrists of the Book of Mormon. You've told me you have a story for this section, so we're going to turn it over to you.
I really love how Alma switches things up on Korihor and says, "What's your evidence that there is no God? Show me your evidence." And then he says, "I have my own testimony, the testimony of my brethren, testimony of the prophets, the testimony of the scriptures." And then there's this line in Alma 30:44, "All things denote there is a God. The earth, all things that are upon the face of it, and its motion, and also all the planets which move in their regular form, do witness that there is a supreme creator." And Hank, a long time ago, my parents gave me a book. I was 13, and it was called Goals. And there's a little story in there which had a big impact on me about looking up at those stars. This is the story. One well-remembered day several years ago, I stood knee-deep in the Virgin River and looked up in awe at the 1,000-foot rock cliffs of Zion's Park on either side. The Park Service brochure said the rocks were more than 200 million years old. I compared my age to the age of the rocks and felt very young and very unimportant. It got dark early in the narrow canyon. By late afternoon, I could see stars in the narrow slice of sky above. I recalled reading that scientists had discovered 7 times 10 to the 13th power stars. The article went on to dramatize the magnitude of that number by saying if there were 7 times 10 to the 13th power playing cards pressed together face to face, okay, so 52 cards is normal deck of cards like that. If there were 7 times 10 to the 13th power playing cards, the line they form would go around the world 600 times.
Oh, my word.
I thought to myself, I am one tiny speck on one tiny world going around one of those 7 times 10 to the 13th power stars. How small and totally insignificant I am. And that's the end of the story. No, just kidding. And then he continues, that night as I enrolled my sleeping bag, a thought hit me with great impact. I am older than the rocks, for my spirit is eternal. I am more important than all 7 times 10 to the 13th power stars, because I am God's son, and they are only his handiwork.
That is beautiful. That's a moment.
And I like camping because I'm in Salt Lake City and the lights, I don't see the stars, but when I can get up in the mountains and I see those stars, it's really hard for me not to think about God and the universe and everything when you see a display like that. And maybe that's what Alma was saying. Look at that. There's evidence that there's a God. Look at that up there.
There's a reason at young men's camp or young women's camp that we tend to be more spiritual, that we get out there and we look at the vastness of creation and we start to.
So cool.
Yeah. It's like Moses.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah.
I've wondered, Hank, if that's what happened to Enos. He went hunting. Suddenly he was out in the wilderness, lost all interest in hunting, started thinking about God because he was out in the beautiful nature.
Yeah, which is probably where he lived as well. But
yeah, that's true.
Enos is like, I got to get out of the city.
Once you've got your steak, then yeah.
You're like, the campfires are just too bright. Can't see the stars. John, that's a great moment. That had impact on me, just thinking that, wait, I am older.
I'm older than the rocks.
Yeah.
My spirit is eternal. I am more important than all the 7 times 10 to the 13th power stars. I am God's son. I'm a beloved son of God, and he has a work for me to do, the young men say every week, right?
Yeah, that is wonderful.
Or I'm a beloved daughter of heavenly parents with a divine nature and eternal destiny. Yes,
Yeah.
that's it.
The heavens and the earth shall pass away. My word shall not pass away. We hope you'll join us on our full podcast. It's called Follow Him. You can get it wherever you get your podcasts. We're with Dr. Brent Topp this week. He's been away on some missions, so we haven't had him on the podcast in a while, and he is really fun. So come over and join us there, and then come back next week. We'll do another Follow Him Favorites.